Zero pairs. A zero pair is made when opposite quantities combine to make zero. A number plus its opposite is equal to zero. -1 and +1 are a zero pair. They combine to make zero. Another way to think about this is if you have $1 and owe $1, your net worth, meaning your assets minus your debts, is zero. We are going to look at zero pairs using a double-sided counter manipulative. You can find it at mathspot.com/manipulatives/double-sided counters. You can pause the video to bring up the app and then pause and restart the video as you watch to try each activity. Zero pairs are very helpful when we add or subtract integers because zero is the additive identity. Adding zero to a number, or for that matter, subtracting it, gives us the number. Counters can be used to model integers. In our model, yellow is positive and red is negative. I'm going to turn on the signs so that we can remind ourselves of that. To start out, let's look at one yellow counter and one red counter. So I have a yellow and I have a red. What happens when we move them together? Well, it looks like they're still there, but if I move them together, they've disappeared. This shows us that 1 plus -1 is equal to 0. One plus -1 is equal to 0. That means that 1 and -1 are a zero pair. 1 and -1 are opposites. They're the same distance from 0 on a number line, but on opposite sides of 0. A number plus its opposite is equal to 0. Let's look at 1 and -1 again. We can line them up to make a pair. And we can line them up this way. We could also line them up this way. We could line them up vertically. And again, in all of these cases, we have a +1 and a -1, and we have zero pairs. Okay, it's a zero pair because its value is 0. And I can, and it doesn't matter which way I move my counters. What about 2 and -2? Well, now I have two positives and I have two negatives. I can line them up. I have two zeros. And again, they disappear. What about -3 and 3? I have three negatives. That's -3. And three positives. +3. We can pair up these counters. We have an equal number of positives and negatives. And again, we can see our zero pairs and see that our pairs make 0. What about if we have any number of positive and negative counters? As long as we have the same number of positives and negatives, we have 0 pairs or 0. What about if I have counters and they're arranged randomly? So let's just put out some counters here and arrange them however we wish. Can I make 0 pairs? Sure. I just rearrange my counters so that I have a positive and a negative together. And I have now made 4 0 pairs. If I want to check it, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. Is there some way to show 0 using counters? Absolutely. By using 0 pairs. A positive and a negative, a number plus its opposite is equal to 0. If I have 4, and I add a 0 pair to it, has the value changed? No, because 4 plus 0 is equal to 4. When we pair a positive counter with a negative counter, we create a 0 pair. Thank you for watching.